Hello and welcome back to Tea for Kings, Tea for Peasants. Today I'm going to be doing a review of this Tiesta tea, Peachy Keen tea. This is a white tea. It's described as a peach rose white tea. The ingredients in it are white tea, peach bits, moringa leaves, rosebuds, and natural flavors. So on the inside, looking at the leaves, you can see there's like these big rosebuds in there, which is kind of cool, and there's also, you can see the tea. It's kind of tinted a little bit. That's what the tea looks like. It smells very fruity and very light. It has a very pleasant aroma. Yeah, you can't really smell the rose very much, which is kind of interesting because of how big those chunks of rosebud are. But you can definitely smell the peach a lot. Once the tea is steeped, it doesn't have a very strong scent, once it's steeped. It's very subtle, and you get more of the rose once it's steeped. This tea, I found that if you drink it right after you steep it, you don't get as much as the peach flavor. So if you steep it and then you drink it right away, you don't get the peach flavor. But if you steep it and then you let it sit for a little bit, you get more of that flavor, which is kind of interesting. It is a white tea, so it's a very delicate tea, which means that the flavors are very delicate as well. Plus, because of having the peach and the rose, those are also very delicate flavors. So it makes sense that the flavor alters based on how long it's sat versus how long it's been steeped and stuff like that. So it tastes... I steeped this for 4 minutes at a little less than 175 degrees, which 175 is the recommended temperature, and the recommended steep time is 3 to 5 minutes. So I did this for 4 minutes, and then I let it sit for about 10 minutes. So after I steeped it, I did taste it after I first steeped it, and after I first steeped it, it pretty much just tasted like a rose tea. It reminded me very much of the Numi Organics white rose tea, but tasting it now that it's sat for a little bit, I get more of the peach, and the rose is still there, but the peach comes in now. So it's kind of interesting that the flavor alters like that. I get more of the peach flavor, and yeah, sort of the first thing you taste is the brightness of the peach, and then as you start to swallow, you sort of get the bitterness and the floralness of the rose. It's not super bitter like a black tea or anything, but rose is just a very floral, slightly bitter flavor. So you sort of get that, and then the aftertaste, it kind of leaves your mouth very dry, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but it definitely, after you swallow, your mouth, wants more of it. It has really nice, delicate flavors, but once again, it is just a little bit of a finicky tea to steep because it's a white tea, which isn't necessarily anything wrong with that. That's just sort of the nature of white teas. They tend to be weird because white tea it's a very minimally processed tea, and so it's very, very delicate. So even if you steep this at too high of a temperature, you'll burn the leaves, or if you steep it for too long, it'll go bitter. It's just much more delicate than other teas. So yeah, but I really like the flavor of this one. The peach and the rose work so well together and just create a really magnificent tea. It's very light, but can't think of the word I'm looking for. Calming. I think calming is what I'm looking for. It's kind of a calming tea, which I really like. I like drinking this one at night. It is a white tea, so it does have a little bit of caffeine in it. White tea has approximately a quarter of the amount of caffeine as a similarly sized cup of coffee, So it's very little, and caffeine, that little caffeine doesn't affect me very much. So I like to have a cup of this like maybe an hour or two before I go to bed. It's very calming and relaxing. So I really like this one. This is the second Tiesta tea that I've bought. I have been so happy with the teas that I've gotten from Tiesta tea so far. I think they're really amazing. I've also had the caramel chocolate tea. It's a black tea from their Energizer collection, and that one's also really good. I didn't think that I liked chocolate flavored teas at first because I had tried a few of them and just did not like them. But the one from Tiesta tea is really good. I really liked it. If you get the chance, I would definitely recommend buying a little bit of this. When I buy things from Tiesta tea, I like to buy the little 1.5 ounce packages first because that's not a lot of tea, so if it's not my favorite, it's not super hard to drink through. And then I'll buy their tins after that and get one of those. And then you have a nice tin that like keeps it nice and airtight, which is ideal when you're storing your tea. So I buy the little pouches, and then after I open them, I store them. I keep them in the pouch, but then I also put them in another Ziploc bag just to like really try and keep out the air. That is my review of Tiesta Tea's Peachy Keen Tea. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe and comment down below. If you have any suggestions of teas that I should try out, comment those down below as well, and I would love to hear from you guys. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy sipping!